Good morning. My name is Shania Grimes, and I conducted a case study on endurance running, long distance running, for a qualitative analysis in biomechanics class. So let's get started. So step one was preparation, fundamental aspects of the activity. Now, the fundamental aspects can include posture, breathing, foot strikes, leg and hip body mechanics, as well as upper body mobility. Now, sports that are considered to be endurance runs is the 3,000 meter run, 5,000 meter run, 10,000 meter run, steeplechase, as well as the marathon. And in this picture here, we have Olympic winner Sufjan Hussain. I believe I'm saying her name right. What is endurance running? Now, the action of running is propelling yourself forward, pushing off of one foot after another. And what separates long distance running versus short distance running is the matter of time that it takes and the distance that is covered. So distances usually longer than 2 miles, or runs that take 20 minutes or more are usually considered endurance runs. Now, for knowledge of the activity, I wanted to get experience, expert opinion, and scientific research from the Olympics, as it just passed, and we have great examples of endurance running in the track and field events. The first person up is Patrice Chauvet, the women's 10,000 meter and 5,000 meter gold medalist. Some of the critical features that I saw when observing her run was upright posture, as well as her breathing. It wasn't too erratic, nor was it too slow. It was just right. Her stride was very lengthy, as well as great mobility in the shoulders. It was very natural and relaxed. Her running gait overall was 10 out of 10. Now for Sufjan Hussain, she's a 2-time gold Olympic medalist in the women's marathon. Some of the critical features that I saw in her, her eyes were always focused ahead. She had a great upright posture. Her arm swing was asymmetrical, great flexibility in her trunk and legs, steady breathing, running stride was lengthy, and great mobility in the shoulders. Now, for expert opinion, I wanted to go to the coaches of Olympians because, of course, they would have expert opinions. Greg McMillan, he's an exercise scientist as well as an Olympic coach, and some of the features that he harps on is cadence, rhythm, foot plant, arm swing, as well as posture. Now, Bobby McGee is a 5-time Olympic coach. And some of the critical features that I saw that he harped on in some interviews and articles was the posture as well as the cadence. The elbow angle as well, he was explaining that if the arm angle is roughly at 90 degrees, it would produce an optimum run. As well as equal weight distribution, that's more so to make sure that one side isn't being overused than the other and preventing injuries along the way, as well as motion patterns. Now, for the scientific research, I found that critical features that were seen in the supporting reference was pronation of the feet, balance and weight distribution, gait, as well as posture. And critical features in this supporting reference was body torsion and arm swing, trunk flexion, cadence, and step length. Now, for the knowledge of the performer, it was my friend Aliana. Her age is 25. Her skill level is intermediate. She's not injured at all, but she is an avid runner. Her anxiety level was a bit moderate. She had some performance anxiety for doing this project for me. She's never been recorded running before, so this was new for her. Some knowledge of the performer, some psychological considerations, the VO2 max, the lactate threshold, aerobic capacity, power, and leg strength. In this instant, I wasn't able to measure her VO2 max and lactate threshold, but in further case studies, I'll be able to do so to get more information. And some biomechanical considerations can be the length of the stride, foot placement, as well as flight and air when running. Some psychological considerations, as I said, performance anxiety, motivation, and self-efficacy. So some perceptual motor abilities, we have directional awareness, as well as body awareness and overall body coordination. Now, physical proficiency abilities, we have stamina, endurance, her body equilibrium, dynamic flexibility, and overall speed. Again, some critical features to look at, the VO2 max, her stride length, gait, posture, asymmetrical arm swing, balance, shoulder mobility, flexibility, foot strikes. We're running into a running theme where we're seeing the same type of features that make for an optimum run. So if all these different features are saying very similar things, that means that this is this is good information to listen to. Now, for this model of the biomechanics deterministic model, we have gait, muscle activity, and joint range of motion that I wanted to look at. Now, for the ground reaction force, the toe off is really important, especially when it comes to the absorption, the acceleration in position, the center of mass. When the foot is hitting the ground, is the center of mass equal, or are they lopsided a little bit? And then I also wanted to look at stride when it came to gait as well. For the muscle activity, we have muscle contraction and EMG activity. And then for the joint range of motion, that goes into heel strike as well as the plantar flexion. Now for exercise physiology, I wanted to look at the VO2 max as well as the flexibility. Now the flexibility in the trunk can affect the stride length as well as the reaction forces. So the way that I thought of that was increased trunk flexibility, increased stride length, because there's more to go without limitations. Now for shoulder mobility, that I found that was directly connected to arm swing. For VO2 max, the increased production of ATP can lead to increased bursts of energy, increased levels of endorphins, which is known to most runners as runner's high. Increased amount of oxygen needed as well. Now, for this model of exercise psychology, we have motivation and we have self-efficacy. So for that, the enhanced performance and confidence of the runner would be looked at. And from motivation, we can gather, are they self-motivated or goal-motivated? Is this something on, like, internally where they're like, yeah, I can do this, I can get this done? Or are they more so focused